Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine McCoy and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for clicking in to drop by, but if you are a returner, it is always nice to have you back. This video, we are going to be talking about my first couple of years as a new member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. This is a part of the series where I talk about my AKA journey as we get closer and closer to J15, January 15th, which is AKA Founders Day. But before we get too far into this video, if you are not yet subscribed, that's okay. I'll help you out. You're gonna take your finger, your cursor, go to the bottom right-hand corner. There is a big red button that says subscribe. Click that and turn on notifications so you will be notified of the rest of the videos that I make for this playlist. Because we have had an amazing journey in AKA, and it's a lot to cover. We're gonna start this video by talking about my involvement at the chapter level, which is pretty important. You've got the individual, you've got the committees that they're a part of, you have the chapter, and then you make the big step up to things like regional, international. We're not there yet. These were just the first couple of months. I was only involved with things at the chapter level. And I came from a small chapter. I was initiated into the lovely and uppermost Lambda Upsilon chapter, which services Harvard, MIT, and Wellesley. And I was number 6 out of 7 girls on my line. So that already clues you in. We were a small chapter. I don't think that in the time that I was there, we ever had more than 15 members in total. So because of that, you always had responsibilities. There was not anyone who was able to be a part of the chapter that didn't have some sort of role, and frequently have 2 or 3 roles. So when I came in, I instantly started out with 3 roles as the standards chairman, the connections chairman, as well as the chaplain. And I was able to have a bunch of different duties with that. So connections chairman, at least that's what it was called back then. Connections chairman had to do with all of the political activity, mobilization, information and education work that we were doing as a sorority. The standards chairman had to do with making sure that the chapter was meeting all of the standards set forth by the region and by the sorority of how it is that we should be operating. So very important that one was. And then chaplain, all I had to do is every time that we had a meeting or an event, I would be the one to offer words of prayer, inspiration to get us started. And that was where I started. So just thinking about where I am now, having been the international second vice president, we all start from somewhere. And for me, my somewhere was standards chairman, connections chairman, and chaplain. And of course, we will get to becoming the international second vice president in later videos. It's a journey. We've got to get there. I was initiated November 11th, 2018, and it didn't take very long for me to get exposed to the regional activities of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So, November, I am initiated. By March of 2019, I was able to go to my first regional conference. The lovely and uppermost Lambda Upsilon is in the notable North Atlantic region, which at the time was headed by Mary Bentley Lamar. And we were going to be having our regional conference, the 88th North Atlantic Regional Conference in Atlantic City, New Jersey. When I sit back and I compare my first North Atlantic Regional Conference to my last North Atlantic Regional Conference, completely different experiences. So my first North Atlantic Regional Conference, I got a car, shared it with 5 girls. We drove up to Atlantic City, New Jersey. We were not in the host hotel, so that means we had to wake up probably 30 minutes earlier than everyone else just to make sure that we were able to make the mass exodus, a walk from our hotel to the convention that was hosting the North Atlantic Regional Conference. And I also don't think that I had many tickets to events, so the brunches that were happening in the middle of the day, I did not have those, so I was having to go out with my chapter members and we were going to different restaurants in the city, which is just as fun. In all honesty, you're able to go out, have a very good time, enjoy the cuisine of the place that you are visiting, but it's also kind of difficult because when you have a bunch of AKAs inundating a restaurant that wasn't expecting 100 people to come in, it can be a wait. But either way, we were still having fun. We were able not just to go as ourselves with our undergraduate chapter, we were going and having lunch with our graduate chapter, our supervising graduate chapter, Psi Omega. So that made it very fun, made it intergenerational, and I loved it. I was also able to have very early experiences at the regional and international level because I applied for the Leadership Fellows program. Now, at the point of this video coming out, the Leadership Fellows application deadline has already passed. I'm very sorry. I should have planned this a little bit better. But if you are an undergraduate and you will still be an undergraduate next year, I need you to apply to the Leadership Fellows program. It is the best thing that you can ever do for your undergraduate experience. The Leadership Fellows program, of course, helps you develop your leadership, but also your organizational and professional skill sets as well. And this is something that is open literally to all undergraduates worldwide. So it is something where if you are applying to it, you go and you are representing not only yourself, not only your chapter, but also your region. So you will be able to meet other, and here's the thing, the Leadership Fellows program is for undergraduates that have a lot of promise. And it is kind of like a feeder program for the undergraduates who are going to go to even higher levels of leadership within the sorority. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, talking about undergraduate member at large and international second vice president, what I would eventually become. But at the time, people are asking me, have you ever thought of running for international second vice president? I haven't been here for a day, and people were already asking me this, but they were planting the seeds of, all of these people that I haven't even known for 24 hours are asking me if I would like to ascend to the third highest position in our entire sorority, 300,000 members worldwide, and I would be number 3, and they've just met me. What do they see in me? Because they're obviously seeing something. So remember I said that you have to apply to the Leadership Fellows program. I applied to the Leadership Fellows program with less than 1 month of experience in the sorority. And you're thinking, Jasmine, why in the world did you do that? Because you obviously would have been going up against people who had more experience in the sorority. More experience as an undergraduate means like maybe 2 more years of experience, but 2 years versus a month is a difference. Well, that is because I had someone very, very important in my life. And that person was actually at my initiation ceremony. At the time, she was not the regional director as she is now. She is Alicia Peggy Spearman, and at the time she was the international chairman of the Leadership Fellows Committee. So she was the one who did all the planning, coordinating, organizing for the Leadership Fellows program that I was going to be going to. And she kept whispering in my ear saying, Jasmine, you should apply for the Leadership Fellows program. So because of her, I did that, and I love her so much. She is just such a light and a role model in my life, and I'm so thankful that I had her in my corner pushing me towards greatness. So I applied to the Leadership Fellows program. I had an amazing time. I was a part of the 40th Leadership Fellows program, and also I still have my pin from the Leadership Fellows program. So here's the thing. It is a 3 or 4, maybe even 5-day program now, but they fly you out somewhere. They give you your, they give you room and board. They feed you, like from an undergraduate perspective of not having any money and being broke. This is like a vacation essentially, but it is also going to help you be a better leader at the end of it. So obviously, great time. And then also it's just the people you meet. It is the other undergraduates that are in the program with you, and it is the Leadership Fellows Committee members who are able to network with you. And then you also, at the end of it, get a mentor that is going to be a part of the professional sphere that you want to go into, that is going to help you get where you want to go. So I can't say enough about the Leadership Fellows program, but amazing, loved it, and it gave me a taste of what lies beyond the chapter level. And once I had a taste of that, I knew that I had to get it again. And part of that, I didn't really have a choice with because my cluster number 5, was going to be hosting the next North Atlantic Regional Conference, number 89. So because my cluster is hosting conference, you got to do something because we're a small chapter. Yes, I was in a small chapter, but we're also a small cluster. So you got to figure out what you're doing because you got to do something. And what it is that I ended up doing is I was the vice secretary of the North Atlantic Regional Conference, as well as the co-chairman of undergraduate activities. Because of those 2 positions, it was my first time being a VSG, a very special guest. And I gotta say, that was a lovely experience. And being able to compare that with my first North Atlantic Regional Conference, 2 completely different things. So as a VSG, you get your tickets comped, you get your registration comped, you get your room will be set aside for you. You have advanced seating, you have a protocol person. I have someone that's holding my bags, ushering me where I need to go, moving me to the front of the line. Oh my God, like it's amazing. Oh, and then I also got to sit up on the dais. I'm looking out at everyone and it's like, whoa, this is such a different perspective. Because last year, I was sitting in like row 100, looking at the people up on the dais from like 200 feet away. Now, I am up on the dais, looking out at everyone. For my vice secretary role, I had to get up and I was the one that was reading the roll call of undergraduate chapters. And then as the co-chairman of undergraduate activities, I helped plan the undergraduate activity, which happens on like Friday. And then I also got to do a presentation on Leadership Fellows program at the undergraduate luncheon. So for like 10-ish minutes, I got up and talked about how important Leadership Fellows was to me and why everyone should do Leadership Fellows. Wow, like it was an amazing experience. And then COVID happened next week. So I am very thankful that my regional conference was one that I was able to get done before COVID started and shut everything down. But you know, that's when we'll start talking about how I ran my campaign for International Second Vice President virtually. That'll be the next video. And that's pretty much all I've got for you all today. Obviously, every person has a different experience in their first couple of years as a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, but I think that mine definitely shows you my upwards trajectory of leadership. And that's simply because I had a passion for leadership and a desire to serve. And with those 2 things, I was able to make those desires and those goals tangible. I made them my reality. So if you have any questions about my undergraduate experience or just Alpha Kappa Alpha in general, if there's something that you want to see me talk about, reflect about in these next couple of videos that I will be doing, make sure that you put those in the comments, make sure that you like this video, make sure that you subscribe, turn on notifications, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.